Hi, House and Home. I'm Kelvin Browne, this is Wolsey, and welcome to our house in Chester, Nova Scotia. We had a place in Cape Cod for nearly a decade, and I came to really love the ocean and the East Coast. And then during COVID, we got a sailboat. So we'd been to Chester over the years, and it seemed like a natural place to migrate, both because of the East Coast and the sailboat. Well, I saw it online, so we bought it, but without even seeing it in a way. The photos look good, and I thought, well, a little bit of renovation, and I came in and I thought, oh, yeah, there's a few things we should do, and then a few things became a few more, and then kind of 14 months later, we actually moved in. There were two changes that I think were pretty significant. One is we took out the electric baseboard heating, and we have hot water rads now. And the other was there wasn't a fireplace, and I couldn't imagine being here in the winter without a fireplace. So that was pretty significant.
How would you coin your style?
How would I coin my style? I'd say eclectic. It's personal. This is, most of the things that are in this house have been with us for quite a long time. And then when they're reorganized in a house, you buy different things to make them fit in. The sofas in the living room were new, but practically everything else has come from away. The area rug in the living room is Moroccan, Berber, and we got it about 10 years ago when we were on a trip. And it was one of those purchases where it comes about 2 months later and you're opening it up going, oh my God, I hope it works. And then we love it. And it has a nice contemporary feel to it, at least it feels comfortable in a contemporary setting as well as something that has, a mix of contemporary and traditional. I was the director at the Gardiner Museum in Toronto, and before that, I was the vice president of the Royal Ontario Museum. I think I like stuff, and some of it's old, some of it's not. And I think when you work in a museum, you really get into collecting and preserving, and it's very hard to let go of any of it. That is a shutter from a Mughal palace, and the dealer told us that every wife of the Sultan had her own little window. And so this would be one of the windows. And I don't know how old it is for sure. The dealer thought about probably 1600, but it's fantastic because it's got so many layers of paint. The pentimento is just sort of remarkable.
So it's a shutter from a little window?
Yeah, and so the palace would have had, like if you had 100 wives, it would have 100 little windows, so they each have a cubicle. Wow. Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, at least you got a window, right? There were some bookshelves there, but we redid them to make them a little more contemporary looking. And there was a closet that looked strange. And so we closed in the closet with another set of bookcases. These are Qing Dynasty parrots. The earliest ones, these would be maybe 1800, and some of the later ones, 1830, 1840. So I thought they were incense holders, and they are in a way, because they have this, but their prime use, they were decoration on the eaves of roofs. And one of the reasons they're in such good shape is they're heavily glazed, and you can touch them and you're not going to do anything to them. So I bought the first 4 in Hong Kong about 20 years ago, and then through auctions and online, I've got 32 of them. And why I like them is that they have a similar typology, but they're all individual. And each one has a personality. I take them off to wash them sometimes, and then I rearrange them so they get to meet different birds. The floor was Mexican tile. It looked like straight out of the 60s. And maybe it looked great in the 60s, but it had to go. And I wanted a more contemporary look, a contemporary element to the house without being overwhelming. We wanted to use slate, but to get pieces as large as they are here, 2x4, you had to have slate that was like 3 inches thick. So we found porcelain tile that looked like slate and could be laid over a very kind of uneven surface with a little bit of repair. So it turned out quite well. And then the kitchen really wasn't very good, so we closed it in because it was open to the living dining room. And it seemed like one big family room, and I really hate cooking in public, not to mention dirty dishes and all that other stuff you want to sweep out of the way during a dinner party. So we built a wall between the living dining room and the kitchen, which the contractor couldn't fathom. I mean, what he was doing is taking walls out for people between kitchens and living dining rooms, and this is the first time he's ever actually had to put one back in. It's a Farrell & Ball color, and it was kind of a color I thought sort of fit with the period of the house. And it was sort of the color that was there, but not quite. I found a Farrell & Ball color and did it. The front door was kind of a dark purpley color, and it was rather somber, so we thought, go for it. So we picked a really hot purpley color to change it up a little. It was a dining room and a very narrow hall to begin with. So we took the dining room out and put a powder room and coat room in there because the powder room was opening into the living room. So now you come in, there's kind of a foyer, the powder room, coat room, painted floor, and it's in a diamond pattern. And it took 4 coats of Varathane after it was painted. And I wanted something that tied in with the darker slate floor. And the wood seemed to be a rather strange juxtaposition when you walked in. Plus I just love painted floors, and I wanted to have painted floors.
And then in the sitting area in there, you have 2 large herons.
Yes, decoys. It was done by a fellow in the 1950s who was a well-known Canadian duck decoy carver, but for his own amusement, he carved these very large life-size herons. And I've been carrying those around with me for a long time too. The powder room, it's one of my favorite things. Sometimes you wait 25, 30 years to do something from a design perspective. Well, I finally got to use Albert Hadley wallpaper, and Albert Hadley is one of my favorite designers. And the wallpaper is called Trixie. The only difficult thing is it was unglued, untrimmed, and so you had to have someone from Halifax come and do it. It took 2 days to do that little powder room, but I got Trixie wallpaper finally, 25 years later. And then I've been carrying around this Chinese export porcelain astrology figure. So it was one of 12, and it's Taurus, the bull. And I finally found a place for it above the toilet. So that was a real accomplishment. You always come in the back door, and it took me a long time to realize why no one was coming to the door when I was knocking at it, because it was the wrong door. Pretty soon you get used to it, and you feel it's strange when someone knocks on your front door. There must be something wrong, or it's a salesman or something, because friends always use the back door. The wallpaper is William Morris, and it would have been very popular when this house was built in 1900. And the bedroom upstairs is fairly large and seemed kind of cold, so I used wallpaper. And I haven't used a lot of wallpaper over the years in houses, so it was great. And then we liked it so much, we picked another William Morris pattern and put it in the one of the guest bedrooms. It's happy, it's fun, birds. I seem to have a lot of birds. There's birds on the table, birds on the wallpaper, herons. I don't know where this bird thing comes from, but it turns out a lot of birds around, so that seemed to be a natural choice for wallpaper.
The principal bedroom, you feel like you're very under the eaves.
And it is, because it goes right up to the roof line, and that's what gives it its kind of nice volume and additional kind of sense of being private and separate. There's 2 bedrooms, a bathroom, and then another bedroom that we've turned into a TV room. And TV room has all the small art, but it's kind of a This Is Your Life kind of collection of things from the first thing that my parents bought me in Europe when I was 16, and then things I've collected over the years and things I've collected with my husband.
You do a lot of gardening.
Love gardening. We had to do quite a bit of gardening here because the land sloped towards the house, so the drainage was terrible. And there was a wood deck off the back, which was kind of pokey and mean. So recontoured the land for drainage, put a terrace in, and then basically replanted around it. And this is the 3rd year for the garden, so it's really starting to happen, which is very exciting. It very much feels like home. Part of it is we're surrounded by things that we've known for a long time, and it's kind of fun because it's renewal too, because they're in different places and you see them differently. And retiring to a place is renewal because you're starting a different part of your life. So I think it's a house that seems to match where we are right now.
Does the dog like it here?
Oh, the dog. Woolsey is so happy here. He has a big backyard. He loves walking to the village. Everybody knows him. Everybody wants to feed him. And I suspect they do behind my back. So he's very happy here. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. He even comes out in the sailboat sometimes. So he has his own little life jacket, by the way. It's safe. Yeah.